In absolutely massive breaking news today, we had Attorney General Merrick Garland announcing in a press conference that the DOJ has filed federal charges against the 4 former and current police officers involved in the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor, with those charges including civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction offenses. And it's been a minute, so just a quick refresher. Breonna was killed in what has largely been described as a botched police raid, with officers serving a no-knock warrant involving a narcotics investigation into her ex-boyfriend who police claimed was receiving packages at her address. Though, very important here, there has been no evidence that Breonna was in any way involved in the drug trafficking case. And in the press briefing today, Garland said that former Louisville Metro Police Department officer Joshua Jaynes, along with current officer Kelly Goodlett and Sergeant Kyle Meany, falsified the affidavit used to obtain the search warrant for Breonna's home. And Garland arguing that those actions violated federal civil rights laws and that those violations resulted in Ms. Taylor's death.
Specifically, we allege that Ms. Taylor's Fourth Amendment rights were violated when defendants Joshua Jaynes, Kyle Meany, and Kelly Goodlett sought a warrant to search Ms. Taylor's home knowing that the officers lacked probable cause for the search. We allege that the defendants knew the affidavit in support of that warrant contained false and misleading information and that it omitted material information. Among other things, the affidavit falsely claimed that officers had verified that the target of the alleged drug trafficking operation had received packages at Ms. Taylor's address. In fact, defendants Janes and Goodlett knew that was not true.
Garland also went on to state that James and Meany knew the warrant would be carried out by armed officers, which could create a dangerous situation, and adding,
"The charges announced today also allege that the officers responsible for falsifying the affidavit that led to the search took steps to cover up their unlawful conduct after Ms. Taylor was killed. We allege that defendants Janes and Goodlett conspired to knowingly falsify an investigative document that was created after Ms. Taylor's death. We also allege that they conspired to mislead federal, state, and local authorities who were investigating the incident."
And so that's why with this, Janes and Meany have been charged with federal and civil rights offenses, including one count of willfully depriving Taylor of her constitutional rights by drafting and approving a false affidavit, with Meany being hit with an additional charge of making a false statement to federal investigators, and Janes facing 2 additional charges of falsifying a report and conspiring to cover up the false warrant along with Goodlett, who was also charged with conspiracy. And in addition to those 3 officers who were part of the place-based investigations unit, Garland also announced charges stemming from a separate indictment focused on former LMPD officer Brett Hankison, with that indictment alleging that after Breonna was shot, Hankison blindly fired into her apartment through a window and glass door that were covered with blinds and curtains, which is going to be interesting to play out because Hankison, of course, had previously been charged with 3 counts of wanton endangerment at the state level, but he was acquitted for firing those shots this year in a widely condemned decision. And notably here, the federal charges against him are separate from that, with Garland saying,
"Defendant Hankison has been charged with 2 civil rights offenses, alleging that he willfully used unconstitutionally excessive force while acting in his official capacity as an officer."
With one of the charges alleging that he deprived Breonna and her boyfriend at the time of their constitutional rights when he fired into the apartment. And the other alleges that he deprived 3 of her neighbors of their constitutional right when the bullets he blindly fired traveled into their unit. And a standout thing here, you had the DOJ saying in a statement that all of the civil rights charges involve alleged violations at a specific statute that carries a statutory maximum sentence of life imprisonment where the violation results in death or involves an attempt to kill. And beyond that, the obstruction counts charged in the indictments carry a statutory maximum sentence of 20 years. And the conspiracy counts carry a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years, as does the false statements charge. But as far as what happens if we see these people convicted and then what sentences are given, we're gonna have to wait to see. And in the meantime, of course, I pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts here? But as always, thank you for watching and subscribing, and thanks to our fantastic sponsors like Public, and more specifically, public.com/DeFranco for making these extra videos possible. If you're not happy where you're at, or you're looking to start investing into the stock market or crypto, sign up now. It's easy, it's free, and just for signing up, you'll get a free stock, which personally is my favorite kind of stock. Yeah, I love your faces, and I'll see you in the next video.